I'm live. Oh my goodness. Okay, people, this angle is tough. Before I completely go live, I'm also gonna go over here and turn on my video on my iPhone. So now I have ugh, two cameras, two angles. The groaning and the moaning is because on it, yeah, I broke my clavicle in two, well, it's hanging, by the hair on its chinny chin chin, and on the 30th of June. And although I don't have my brace on right now, and oh, sorry, I am not able to get my dress off. And so some of you might find that comical, but it's really not. It's not. And so just imagine being, let's see, what is today? Today is, I gotta put my, today is 8/1. So just imagine being 30 days out from breaking your bone and being a grown mother of all varieties, right? I mean, couldn't get home health care to come to my house. Ugh. Um, I haven't been able to get and figure out if I'm truly supposed to be just letting this clavicle heal. But I mean, I do exercises. Oh, this terrible angle. And you can see I have some range of motion, but I'm in pain. So, okay. So it is. So truthfully, I'm going to bed in my dress. Like I cannot. My neighbor actually came over and helped me zip up my dress. And the only thing I was for all you ladies out there, you're gonna totally appreciate this. But I mean, I was able to. Have you ever seen a woman like take her bra off without yeah, when her shirt is like all like pinned up, buttoned up or whatever? Well, that was kind of what I had to do and it hurt, but I'm just going to have to use this dress as a nightgown. That sounds so ridiculous, but I am limited on my it hurts too bad for me. This is a terrible angle. You can tell I don't have a six pack, right? What do they call that? A mom bod? Let's do it. Ugh. So if you hear that buzzing, I think may or maybe you just know that it just turned off. I have been consistently doing, well, most consistently doing, for all of you med geeks out there, medical professionals, ice. Oh, once again, on my phone, I have a picture of the broken clavicle, but whatever. I know some people were like, kind of thought I was faking and calling um, crying wolf, I guess is the best way to put it. But um, as I'm thinking about that, that may certainly be something somebody may do in the past or have done in the past, but that is not something I would ever do. Even I had some time with a little friend of mine, my little buddy, and I had a terrible headache and I really didn't even want to be babysitting her. And her mom is just a wonderful lady and stuff, but like I had a terrible headache and I did, tape her or, her out taking care of me. But anyway, so the point is not about this. Um, the point is, I want to speak about how to take care of yourself when you don't have anybody to help you and you essentially become unable. And so tonight, what that means, it's not the first night I've had to do this. I've only washed my hair a limited, let's just put it this way, just because there's going to be people judging. There are only a limited number of time. I'm going to see if I can move my phone this way. It seems weird to have two cameras running. Let's see if I can do this. So, okay, so I'm going to answer this question. Hopefully. Okay. Yeah. See if I can prop this phone up. Okay. So how to tend to and take care of, okay, that's it. Unplug the iPhone. See if I can prop it up over here. Okay. Yeah. So how to do it. Okay. Well, first and foremost, there's a gal out. She's a really big influencer. Her name is Mel Robbins, and I like her stuff, but she often will just kind of like say, nobody's coming to help you. There's no Prince Charming, there's no rescuer, the Incredibles, those people, they're not coming to save you, right? Like that's my favorite Pixar movie, The Incredibles. Of course, I like the initial one, but anyway, but having to take care of yourself when nobody else is willing to, no matter how many times or how far you get knocked down, is something that I unfortunately can speak to. And so tonight it just means that I'm going to bed in my what would normally be considered a sundress, and in my head I'm just going to go, well, it's my nightgown tonight. I cannot get the zipper to unzip, so it was a bad choice. I shouldn't have got this dress on. I shouldn't have grabbed this dress out of my closet. But that being said, nobody's life is going to be in danger if I sleep in my clothes, right? So very common sense. Although, I can't wash or haven't been able to wash my hair as much as I normally would have wanted to, or it's not that. It's more like the pain of getting undressed, getting dressed, and also the pain of washing and scrubbing my hair. I have one friend who scrubbed my hair. And then I went to, there's a local beauty school, and I had her, like a student, wash my hair. So anyways, there's two tips, right? Ask a friend, or go have, get your hair done at a salon. And even if you're in pain, and even if it is hard, you take care of yourself by doing that. You see, if you know my material, my husband died in 2018, and my kids are in their 20s. And so, in short, his death was tragic and traumatic. It was suicide, and my kids are in their 20s. So the empty nest is truly empty. But we in one of my previous either journals, maybe podcasts, or video recordings. I'm not sure if I can call these podcasts yet. You know, I don't know. Within the first year, I'm pretty confident. I was, after John died by suicide, and it was just within the first week, I described my heart as being like a third-degree burns on the inside and the outside, and I just couldn't think of a better image, because a dear friend of mine, when I was a childhood friend of mine, caught on fire. Actually, a multitude of, a little girl that was in my homeroom caught on fire. I had another friend who had bone cancer and had her leg amputated. And I, as an adult, just recently, one of my friends said, you feel really deeply for people, which I think is funny because there's been other people in my life who've said that, I do not. But I thought that was, I'll just take that as a compliment. As a result of just a multitude of things. In my early 20s, I was, diagnosed or told that I had post-trauma PTSD. And so after my husband died, without giving gore and explicit detail, you can probably understand that problem didn't, completely go away, but it became very, very problematic. And so I have been contending with not being able to be the high functioning, dynamic, and I'm just going to say crazy HR person that I had to be in order to be, you pretty much had to be a ninja. I think HR is like motherhood. There's so much going on. It's like The Incredibles. Mrs. Incredible was way more incredible than Mr. Incredible. I mean, he had the brawn, but she had the brains, and she protected the kids, right? I mean, like, let's just do this instead of going all weirdo, wackadoodle, wokadoodle. Let's just say, Mrs. Incredible brought different strengths to the family, and Mr. Incredible did too. And so, although I was a student of anthropology in college, I had a really hard time with women's studies because the women that were studying women's studies hated men. They were like male bashing. And I was like, well, what? So, yeah, I don't do that. I don't get that. I like men. I grew up in a family with 4 boys and a dad. That's a lot of men, like, ugh. So incidentally, there were 4 ladies, my mom and 3 girls. So, yeah, long and short of it is, how do you take care of yourself? Maybe you don't or haven't always taken the best care of yourself. In other words, made sure that your care is as good or better than you would for someone else. I'm talking to all you moms. I'm talking to all you teachers. I'm talking to all you nurses. I'm talking to all you doctors. And I'm mostly, yes, talking to all you women. I certainly can and try to be careful about speaking stereotypically, but I know better than anybody is every human being is nuanced. We are all beautifully and wonderfully made. But that being said, migraines and post-traumatic stress, I don't know that the movies actually truly capture and characterize how difficult those contending with those conditions are. And so keep breathing. So long and short of it is, when my husband died, I knew in my heart of heart, in my brain, in this little, where the gray matter is between these 2 little, ears, I just knew that I wasn't strong enough. I needed to heal. So I stopped my HR career. I instead opted to try to find something else. And I knew 2 of my friends, one worked in Ottawa Hills and one worked in Perrysburg. I called some friends, and 2 of my friends said, yeah, go ahead and put my name down. I would totally, recommend you to get hired for our district as a substitute teacher. And so that began sort of a mini career, which I had no desire, intention, or thought of ever becoming a teacher. First of all, they're underpaid. Second of all, they're undervalued. Third of all, who wants to deal with other people's kids when they're being ornery? And just to complicate things, day subs are often taken advantage of by the nice kids sometimes, by the bad kids many times, but sometimes by the nice kids. And that is so frustrating. So fast forward 2018 to present day, or present year 2024. My family is pretty large, but let's just say there's been a lot since in this time frame, in this 6+ year stretch. One of my siblings, house burned to the ground. One of my family members, one of my parents, is battling pulmonary issues, pneumonia, and cancer. And I only speak in general terms and gender neutral terms, because I'm telling this story, and people that know me know who those people are, but I'm not doing it to be wackadoodle weirdadoodle. So it is, in fact, a way to be somewhat transparent so that you, the viewer, can understand me, the speaker's position, but it does maintain certain level of anonymity when it comes to, such a large group of people, 10, you know, 20, 30, however, many people are in my family, immediate family. So taking care of myself. I will tell you that, I could go on and on about this, but off the top of my head, I have had to learn to articulate and ask, even in absolute dire embarrassment, even when I don't want to, ask people who have no responsibility to me for help. And it has been more than humbling. It has been embarrassing sometimes. And sometimes I actually have to push away shame. Um, and so it's just life keeps happening. So my husband died by suicide, and then right okay, in December 31st, the year before my husband died by suicide in April, my daughter totaled her Jeep. She was absolutely devastated. That was the beginning of 2017, that's how she ended 2017. And then 2018 began. And dare I say that for me, it's been like a 7-year stretch. So I'm not going to launch into my testimony or my story. But first and foremost, as far as taking care of oneself, self-care, it has to be faith. And for me, it has to be Jesus. But for anybody that has any knowledge and or positive experience, especially with any kind of 12-step program, the underlying fundamental is, I am not my God. I am not a God, and I am not all powerful, the genie, in control, the sorcerer, calling the shots, the Wizard of Oz. I'm not. God is. And so if you know anything about the Bible, check out Job. And then Job actually was indeed like, I don't think it was a resilience thing. I don't think it was a rebound thing, but God blessed him tremendously and later, right? So life keeps happening. And so I'm not going to lament or go on and on, because I've already taken up more time than I had planned to on these videos. Incidentally, I'm just going to tell you, you remember that I did my cell phone. Hang on a second. Right, my cell phone time. It says 18, 23, 24. And then on YouTube, the delay, it says 18:14 when it said 24. Now, I'm not sure exactly why that happens, but that's a very interesting. I'm trying to figure out electronically why that would be. You guys, it's really hard, or gals, it's really hard to try to figure out like how to, it's like opposite. So tonight, here's how I'm taking care of myself. I unfortunately had to go to the phone earlier, call the pharmacy and get more muscle relaxers, and unfortunately more painkillers. So I do not want opioids in my house, but because of this broken bone, I have them. I also need and am utilizing them 30 days after this has, as I heal. Number 2, I went to the store. My friend drove me. I made the biggest glass of tea as possible. I have 3 tea bags in here. 1, 2, 3. One is sleepy time. And then there's one with chamomile, lavender, and then something else. I don't care what it tastes like. I just want the soothing and go to sleep effects, because And then 3, I actually already took Tylenol PM before I started. Really, the pain management is Tylenol and Motrin, plus icing and heat. And so I that's what I'm going to do. And hopefully I'll sleep. I had some pretty crappy sleep nights, and I need that. I need sleep, rest, and God help me. I need to be still. It's not something I do well first and foremost, but I need to let my body heal. And just as a microcosm, sometimes emotional, spiritual, and physical, obviously very severe traumatic physical situations call for that. But many times we underestimate and or forget when people are contending with the two invisible, that is the spiritual and emotional challenges that occur. And so it's true. If you have a tragedy, life will keep happening. The sun comes up, it will go down again. Read Ecclesiastes if you want, or listen to the Beatles if you want. Wait, the Beatles, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, point being, yes, life keeps happening. And so sometimes we contend with these things and we feel weak, and people say we're strong, and we're like going, what the hell? And I don't mean to be like cursy, is certainly not sacrilege, but you get me, right? So yeah, that's it. I'm going to wrap up. This was just a ramble, I'm sure, to many of you, but tea, sleepy time tea, chamomile, turmeric, and lavender. Okay. Bed. I've got the heating pad has been heating for 20 minutes now since I've been talking. And now I need to put it on. I'm going to put it on vibrate and see if I can get my muscles just continue to respond and relax with the heat. My pharmacist today and I had a really good, solid conversation, and what a great pharmacist. But, I had explained to him how bad the pain has persisted and asked him about different, maybe even over the counter. And he said, no, he's like, he says, it sounds like you really have a bad break. And they wouldn't reset that bone. They would just you just got to bear through the pain. So yeah. So sometimes that's the way it is. Sometimes you don't get to take off your dress, and sometimes actually you don't even get to have your tea and your coffee, and sometimes you just need to let the day die. Get yourself in the REM sleep zone. Allow your brain and your body and your spirit to rest and wake up in the morning and do things again. So that's how I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna give you a cheers. Unfortunately, I'm not sitting up straight, and God help me. I mean, my content it's not salt of the earth. It is actually, I feel like, kind of grungy here on YouTube sometimes. That's how I feel. I know it doesn't look that way, but that's kind of how I feel right now by posting this. But it is what it is, and God will use your gifts, your contributions, and Anthony Robbins and Dean Gracias, so I can never say his name correctly, but they urge people to do it messy, and that's really what I have done. So thank you for tuning in, and God bless you good. And I'm gonna go now. This hot tea, I was trying to rest it on my shoulder, but it's just kind of awkward. It's too sore today, but God bless you and take care. And yeah, maybe one day I'll be able to look like I'm in Hollywood, or maybe like that I'm creating a commercial or being somewhat of a model, but yeah, not today, right? So take care, and just let me assure you, even if you feel like you're not resilient, you may be, um, God may be giving other people an opportunity to view what you've gone through, and they may find strength in your story. So I hope that encourages you. I hope that adds value. And thank you for joining Thor Wellness Group today. I'm Jamie Thor, tuning out, and bye. Mwah. Love you all.